So on March 22nd, like that drop, and like that drop, it's fascinating because it's the day when Venus is actually conjunct Saturn. Then it's not an exact conjunction. No, it's not an exact conjunction. But Venus must have passed Saturn, and it's separating now. But it is exact with his Jupiter, with his natal Jupiter. So Venus Jupiter is usually a great time. I think he liked that joint. I love Venus Jupiter. Oh my God, the best time. I love anything Venus Moon Jupiter. It's just so good. It's just I have Jupiter on my ascendant, and I have a great time all the time. The North Node, the transit Mercury is also exact on his North Node, so the collective mind was on him. That's interesting, because that's not necessarily an energy like you would have felt, but I think the collective kind of looked at him. Where's your pen? What are you writing? What are you replying to this? Especially it's a mercurial Aries conversation, so very leading, taking charge. It's about action. It's war. It's a conversation of war. It's Aries. So yeah, first shot on his North Node. Good job. On his North Node. Yeah, it's war. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a separating trine to his Uranus. Because it's Mercury, it's an unusual idea. Maybe that sparked an unusual idea for him, an unusual way of writing, an unusual way of approaching this war. Because he will reply on the 13th, right? Mercury, hold on a second, what did Mercury do this month actually? Mercury stationed on April 1st, and it went retrograde all the way till the 25th. So this was a retrograde Mercury. Oh yeah, no, actually this is not, because this is March 22nd, so this is not part of the retrograde. It's not the Mercury retrograde yet. We're still going direct. Okay. All right. Transit Uranus on his natal Venus. It's separating, so I think those facts has already taken place. What else do we get here? Jupiter, sextile Jupiter. It's separating also. You know what? Funnily, Mars is at 2951 Aquarius, and it's trining his Sun. So shortly it will move into Capricorn. No, into Pisces, and it will trine his. So yeah, he's gonna get ready for war. Yeah, he's gonna. But it's not a light. It's not a heavy. It's just gonna come naturally because it's a trine. So he's just gonna embody that. But it's not a very strong, all out, I'm ready for war. And Pisces is his 8th house of secrets. Hidden enemies in the 12th house. I'll have my more earlier. Open enemies is in the 7th house. Yeah, so other people's assets, other people's resource in this 4th house. Pluto is still squaring his Sun, but that's too wide. It's too wide. It's no. Alright. So that's the only thing I would take in consideration with this chart. I like Yeah, he liked that record. He liked that. He liked that joint, like that, the future joint. Yeah, because Venus is trining his natal moon. Uh, Venus is conjunct his natal Jupiter. I love that. Having a Venus transit on my natal Jupiter, such a fucking good time, man. That's sweet. You know what? Transit Mercury is sextiling his natal Chiron. So his natal wound is being triggered or supported a bit by the words that were coming out in that song. I guess maybe that's why. I don't know. All right, so this, I mean, yeah, you can really go crazy. So this is what happens on the 22nd, and then on April 13th he drops push that. So let's compare the chart of the 22nd with the chart of April 13th. Okay, I don't have time for the drops, the release. Oh, Venus is in Aries now. You know, transit Venus on natal moon. Transit Venus square natal moon. Is this a, she's applying, it's an applying square. And then transit Mars on trining his natal moon, his natal Venus. Yeah. The one indication is maybe transit Venus. Let me see, when is Kendrick dropping the, so April 13th. Oh, okay. And then he comes back on the 24th. You know that transit Venus square his natal moon? Maybe not necessarily, because not everything is correlated to his career, right? Maybe just issues at home with his family, with his mom, with his Venusian issues with music, Venusian issues on the moon. The moon, Venus is not retrograde, so this is very light energy, probably a day or two, max 2 days. Yeah, it's hard to have Venus, you know, between your taste and what you're in the mood for. Yeah, your preferences, between your preferences and what you're in the mood for can be two different, not in accordance. Just minor irritation, maybe somebody pissed him off, you know, not necessarily something got under his skin, but it's nothing. It's a, the one thing is like it's on his moon, so he felt that, you know, but it's not life-changing. And then we have what on April the 20th, and then he dropped something else on the 24th. Hold on. So here, you know what, and during the whole time, this is interesting, the whole time this is taking place, Saturn is trining his moon, so he's supported mentally, his emotions are supported. Mind you, he's going through a transformation of ego, a death and rebirth in that aspect. But while the whole thing is taking place, Saturn is trining his moon. And I think that's really important when you're going through a Pluto transit. You do want that support. And Saturn is also conjunct his Jupiter. You know, Saturn Jupiter is just like Saturn Mars, man. Jupiter wants to blow up, and Saturn is coming and putting a brakes to that. It's like, my guy, not so fast. This whole expansion that Jupiter wants to do, Saturn is coming behind and say, hold on a second. Either it's going to block it, because that's what Saturn does, right? It's going to limit, restrict. Oh yeah, that's funny, because Kendrick Lamar, Kendrick's Jupiter is in Aries. It's not in, so only Drake is feeling that energy. So his expansion is definitely blocked. Wow. While he's still receiving the square from Pluto. The Mars trying his transit, Mars trying his natal. What, he's already dropped it, but I think that it was a good reception. That joint was well received. Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus was opposing his natal Venus. Yeah, Drake's Venus. Whoever. Yeah, 20v1. But still, like, Drake's MC is in Taurus, so it's ruled by Venus, and it's a Venus in Scorpio, and she's in the 4th house. This is really, and she's conjunct his Mercury. Venus Mercury is beautiful words. It's beautiful letters, lyricism. It's poems. It's words. He's a wordsmith. Not like Kendrick Lamar, because Kendrick is a Gemini. Kendrick's a Gemini. But Venus, Mercury, beautiful letters. Beautiful letters. And then but so it rules his career, his public house, and Venus also rules his 3rd house of communication, right? And she's in the 4th house. That's his foundation. This is what he does naturally. Or recognizing melodies. That's what they say. We like it when you make us dance. Melodies. That's Venus is melodies. Yeah, no, beautiful melody. Yeah, but the Mercury is right there. So beautiful chants, mantras, chants. Drake knows how to do those little catchy hooks. Yeah, I can see that. In the 4th house, so that's very much his foundation. And you know what? That Mercury, it's a wide square, but he has 4 planets in Scorpio. Sun at 0 degree, Pluto at 7, Venus at 18, and Mercury at 23. To me, all that Pluto house, that fixed house, it's one energy. It's not like 2 over here. It's not a co-presence. To me, the whole thing is his Scorpio house is really busy. So all that squares his natal Mars in Aquarius, and Mars Mercury, wordplay, word fights, conflicts of words, using words. That's another big signature for battle rappers. Mars Mercury, when you battle rappers. But lyricism, beautiful words, beautiful wordplay, beautiful poem. That's definitely a Venus Mercury. Oh, of course. Yeah, and like Drake actually does both, doesn't he? He does both. He does have the melodies, and he does he does make the girls sing, dance, and he approaches the counterparts, right? Okay, so and then so both of those planets, Jupiter and Uranus, both of them are opposing his Venus at the same time. So there's a big struggle between what is going on out there and what his natal Venus wants. The opposition, that's a huge fight. And to have such a conjunction play out, but it's not exact, but it still takes place, it's still taking place on his natal Venus, the opposition of that rebrand. Uranian freedom and revolution. Opposing his natal Venus, which plays such a, opposing the ruler of that house. Of his public house, of, yeah, of his career. Yet, no, it wasn't exact. When they played that in 2010, the conjunction. So it was what? It was a Jupiter return for him, but it wasn't exact. It was a Jupiter return, and Uranus, but it wasn't exact at the same time. So that happened on the 13th. I'm not gonna go too deep into this. So yeah, Jupiter, both Jupiter and Uranus is in his MC, is on his MC, is in his 10th house of career. I'm not gonna go too far. It's not that deep. We've already seen how it played out, and the astrology is always on time, eh? And then on the 24th, what do we? On the 24th, he drops another joint. Now on the 24th, it's still not exact, but no, it's still not exact. Right, we have the same energy. Oh, but this is different now, because now Jupiter and Uranus will oppose his natal Mercury. What a shakeup. Huh. Jupiter Mercury opposition, I have that natally. Between my small concepts and my big mind, or my huge ideas, and my Mercury in Pisces, and my Jupiter in Virgo. Jupiter is actually on my ascendant. I love philosophizing. Philosophizing. Huh. Yeah, where the ideals and the inspirations of the world are going is not adhering with his natal thoughts, with the way he processes information. You know, the opposition, especially when it's transiting planet that are opposing you, is just a collective energy that is not in accordance with you. I wonder who that got channeled through, because this will be channeled through someone will play that role, that Uranian complex. Was it through Kendrick? And also transit Sun will oppose his natal Pluto. This is a one-day energy. This is nothing to do sleep over. And then what? Mr. Kendrick drops on the 30th. You know what? The day Kendrick drops, Jupiter is actually exactly opposite. It's at 2404. Oh, yeah. But the whole time, Drake is supported. You know, Saturn is very involved in this chart. Saturn was trining his moon, and now it's about to trine his natal Venus. You know, this is that's a grounding energy. It is a grounding energy, but all these squares and opposition, he did not live that track dropping very well. You know, another thing is the because Drake's moon is in Cancer, and the North Node transit North Node is in Aries. Pretty soon the North Node is gonna square his moon. So Drake might be supported, but the collective. I've seen transit North Node square someone's natal moon. How you go about nurturing yourself doesn't suit the need. It's not where the collective is at. We don't agree with how you nurture yourself. And this gonna seek for a transformation as well. So a transformation on of his moon. It's not a Pluto transit, okay? It's not a Pluto transit. It's not a Neptunian transit. It's a very fast transit that tells you for a couple of days, 3 to 5 days, 2 to 4 days, that your natal orbital nature is not in accordance with what we like. And he felt the pushback. He felt he's gonna actually, because this is a slow moving transit. It's not 2 to 3 days. This is slow moving, because even now today on the what day is it today? The 16th. Even today the 16th. I don't even think that 16th of what, of May. Yeah, yeah. But this whole period though is this whole period, we're not jiving with you, buddy. The collective is not okay with you. They don't like it. You know what's interesting? Oh, today is a different day. Today Venus is at 2119. Today Venus is actually on his MC. The ruler of that house. But he's not dropping anything. It would have been a great day to drop something. But that Uranus, the Uranus on his MC scares me a bit. Because every time Uranus has made direct contact, and I mean like close contact, like I'm gonna put the dates up and I'm gonna show you guys the chart. Whether it be with Pusha T or with Big Mill, it was always to the degree. It was never really before. As soon as it's exact, something unexpected comes up and shakes the rug from under his feet. So yeah, I was expecting something on the 13th. I don't know if that's something played out as those allegations of those boxes that were found. There's an account on Twitter. There's an account on Twitter that's I don't know if it's on same day, but I think that account's been open for a while. Yeah, that's a yeah, no, I don't think that Drake is having a great time today, especially today. Oh, today Mars is at 12 Aries and is squaring his natal moon in Cancer. Today's not having a great day. That Mars square moon, you're ready to kill someone. Something is pissing you off. And then Venus opposing his natal Venus. Yeah, Drake has a nah. Yeah, women's are not okay with you. I wonder what his numbers are looking like. Well, I know like Venus opposing Venus, that is definitely like, especially knowing that Venus represents such a big part of his music, represents his music, his career, and having transit Venus opposing the whole thing, he's losing. I think he's losing women's markets. Yeah, or general consensus, and it's in opposition. Yeah, these are like the Venus one is telling to me. So yeah, that is how Drake lived those battle days. What did we do? We did 3 dates, right? All right. Let's see if I can. Okay, and then we have the May 3rd. Jesus, oh, damn. Okay, so let's see what's going on in May. May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You know what? Drake dropped on May 3rd. I want to see the May 3rd and May 4th. Uh, oh, it's hard to say because they dropped on the same day. One dropped 616 in LA, and then Drake dropped Family Matters. And right after, Kendrick says, "Squash all that work you put in. Address this. Address me the grams." So let's take a look. Let's see how he lived May 3rd and May 4th. I love how that Uranus. Oh, yeah. The Uranus is directly opposing. And you know, like Mercury. Mercury is a very important planet for Drake because it is his penmanship. So that Jupiter is opposing that. That Uranus is opposing that. Yeah, your writing. Is that maybe talking about the 20V1? You know? Uranus, Mercury Uranus is always that genius, does unusual ideas, those unusual writers, those unusual. Kendrick has a strong Uranian signature in his chart. Kendrick, I think he's Sun Uranus. Yes, he is Sun Uranus, Sun in Gemini. Uranus in Sagittarius generation. Yeah. You do see that? 14 Grammys. Yeah, that Mercury Uranus is always a genius. It's always unusual writing. Mercury Uranus, unusual, different, revolutionized. I think what's her name? Taylor Swift also got a really strong Uranian signature on her chart. I think it's on her ascendant. I don't pay attention to Taylor Swift. I don't care about none of them. I care about the astrology of it all. So that's what makes it fascinating to, not fascinating, but to see how it's playing out, right? How we collectively playing out on each other. I love the Chiron signature of it all. Alright, so May 3rd, let's take a look. Depending on what time of the day, I don't know who dropped when, but yeah, pretty much the same. Now Mars transit, Mars is about to square, is going to be squaring his natal Neptune. Mars, Neptune, square, transit Mars. And he's at war, right? And his Neptune, his idealism, his escapism. Says you can't go nowhere, come and deal with this. Transit, you know what? Transit Venus opposing, okay, this I'm definitely going to take in consideration. Transit Venus opposing natal Pluto. She's applying. You lost. Transit Venus opposing natal Pluto, especially given that in his birth chart, in his natal chart, he has Pluto Venus. It's a wide orb, but it's a conjunction. Okay, so now Venus is opposing that. He felt that. And then On May 5th, and then on May 5th, transit Venus is exactly opposing his natal power, his natal Pluto. Venus is exactly opposing all that. Exact opposition. If that was his power natally, now she's opposing that. She said, I'm not serving you right now. I'm not on your side right now. Wow. And she's also squaring his natal Mars. But that opposition, that's striking. And that's also the day transit Mars is squaring his natal, exact square to his natal Neptune. Yeah, no, you're not that. It's not even, to me, it's not those transits that made the war. The war, it was just, it was, from what I knew of Jake's chart, I thought, I mean, mind you, I thought that it was going to be the eclipse of October of last year, but I'm not surprised that it's playing out, and I'm not surprised that it's playing out in such a configuration, because when I saw that transit Pluto squaring his natal sun, and the South Node is going to leak this whole shit, you're not going to survive that. This is terrible. This is terrible energy. I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to post also the write-ups I started making on this from last year. I think I can find them on my notes, and I'm gonna circle the dates and the timestamp so you see that I never altered them. They've been sitting in my folder. I've been following his chart. Yeah, that big telltale, I knew that it was coming to the end. I just didn't know that it was gonna play out in such a massive pop culture moment. But yeah. So anyways, this is what I'm going to wrap it up for Drake and his transit, and I'm going to try to get some of Kendrick's in there. Okay?